Okay guys, welcome to another Main Meister 10 minute mashup. This game, excuse me, this is Juno First. It's a conversion of Juno First, and it's written by a chap called Chris Walton. He's a chap actually, I know he's a really nice guy, and he's a top programmer. Now what makes this game in my mind pretty incredible is this is running on an Atari VCS. Now I'm running this under emulation, but I've got absolutely no reason to believe why it's not going to run perfectly on a real machine. Now yeah, this is one of my favourite shoot 'em ups in the arcade. And I've just got to say that this is pretty incredible game. I mean, it's got the speed, it's got some excellent music, and I mean, look at the colours. Now this, oops a daisy, what happened there? I think it was a reset button. And I've got to say it plays pretty accurate to the arcade as well. Look at the spaceman. Ah, bugger. Damn it, is he going off the screen? I think he has. I mean, it's got the scrolling lines. It says the colours and the graphics are excellent. This is it's really impressive looking. It's not just impressive looking, it plays really well as well. It really really shows you that, you know, the hardware that we used back in the day, it's obviously quite a twitchy controller. I'm using the 360 controller. Yeah, it just goes to prove just how capable these machines were. But obviously, you know, in hindsight now they've got, you know, fantastic. They've got all the knowledge of the system, and they're able to put together games like this. I'll just let you listen to the sound for a wee second. There's always a bit of graphic glitching going on there, but that is really impressive. Right, I'm not quite sure why the wave thing is going up. Wave 24. Right, that'll be why it's starting so hard. Huh? Should really restart on level 1, I think. Ah, bollocks. Right, let's see if we can. Yeah, I don't know why the wave thing is going up continually. Let me just restart it for a second. Okay, this should hopefully be level 1. There we go, that's a bit more like it. But even the sound, they've even nailed the sound, you know, I mean, that's just amazing. Now when I say I know Chris, he actually bought, I can't even remember what it is he bought off me. He bought, in fact, I'll tell you what it was, he bought an Atari XL off me. And he actually lives, I think he lives in Glasgow or Edinburgh, and he actually came through to pick it up. Hell of a nice guy, and we just got talking about retro games as you do. Here's me using that annoying word again, but anyway. And he happened to mention that he also likes to program games to the 2600. So I asked him if he had any games that he could send me, so that's what he did. So he sent me about half a dozen games, and this is the second one I've actually looked at. This is really, really impressive. I know I sound like a broken record, but I can't believe that this is actually running on an Atari 2600. You know, if games like this were available, I don't know what's going on there, it seems to be jumping up again. Anyway, if games like this were available back in 1979, 1980, we'd have probably be quite happy to play these games for a lot longer. But it does make you wonder. I mean, you look at what they're doing in the Spectrum now, you know, they've come up with a new system where they can have extra colours and this kind of stuff. It makes you wonder just how much or little of hardware companies actually use before they bring out sort of replacements, if that makes any sense. What I'm trying to say is there's probably a lot more mileage in machines. Ah, balls. But then I suppose it's like anything, things get superseded, and it's the same with video games. It's just that there's people who, this is quite a unique sort of hobby, insofar as there's people who will still continue to make games for systems that, you know, for intended purposes are actually defunct and are no longer used, stuff like this. But I'm so impressed with this game, I really am. As I said, I love the arcade one, and it plays very, very, very similar. Obviously there's slightly fewer kind of graphics, sprites on screen at any one time, but you know, when you look at like games like Pac-Man for Atari VCS, they're very, very basic looking, and then you compare this, and it's hard to really imagine that this is actually running on the same hardware that Pac-Man or something like Combat was running on. But that's obviously just because they've got the knowledge, they've got the ability to do stuff with hardware that just never ever thought possible. I mean, look at the wee spaceship. I don't know how kind of clear it's showing up on the video, but your spaceship seems to be about, it's kind of graduated in colour, and it looks to me like there's something like 6 or 7 different colours of blue. Now, I didn't even think that was possible. Or if it was, or if it is, I should say, I can't say I've ever seen a game that is impressive looking as this. Well, what I shall do, chaps, is I'll put the link to the game below so you can download it. Now, I do know if you've got you can get a sort of flash cart for the Atari 2600, and you can pop this onto the cartridge and play it on real hardware. Now, I know that Chris, who wrote this, he also did the software for the sort of multi-carts. That's just another wee piece of trivia for you. But this is actually quite a frantic game. You know, compared to the more pedestrian and like Space Invaders, this is actually quite a zonal game. And it's excellent. I don't know if I mentioned that. Fuel low? Fuel? I didn't remember having fuel in this arcade game. Right, anyway, listen, that's enough of that. That is Juno First, and that is, believe it or not, on the Atari 2600. Please feel free to like, comment and subscribe, guys, and as usual, thank you so much for watching.